The Witch in the Wood by T.H. White, Chapter 22. The only hope, said Sir Grummore, is to get him huffed. If we can only get him huffed, he will agree to anything. But would it be perfectly moral? Asked Sir Palomides. My dear sir, if we were to intoxicate the afflicted royalty in order to serve ends of doubtful validity, you leave it to me, Palomides. I'll fix this validity of yours, whatever it may be. I say, Pellinore, said Sir Grummore, what about going down to the village for a drop of sunshine? Why not? Well, I don't see why not. Then we better start at once. What ho, said Sir Grummore, raising his tankard. What hail, my lord the king? The same to you, said King Pellinore. Okay to all, said Sir Palomides politely. Good mead, this, observed Sir Grummore to the landlord. Just new on tap, isn't it? The landlord of the Lobster Inn was our friend Pudsey, of course, and he stood in the gloom behind his distinguished visitors, ready to wait upon their needs. His she-bean was the only one in the village, and King Lot was not supposed to know about it, though some people might have considered that it looked beautiful enough that evening, with its dim lights burning in oil and happy faces flushed with mead. All the people in the Lobster, which was crowded, sat round the walls on benches. In the middle there was a plain wooden table, scrubbed daily, which could be moved into the cellar if the patrons wanted to dance some reels. At one end a bright fire of sea-wrack burned, with yellow, salty flames which lit the room much better than the oil wicks on the table and in the corners. There was a holy picture with a red light before it, and the room smelled of iodine and seaweed, all mixed up with mead and leather sea boots and hot oil and worsted. The firelight lit the people's faces from below, so that the innumerable crow's feet round their withered eyes shone in criss-cross patterns of saffron, and their eyebrows, throwing an upward shadow, looked surprised. Mother Morland was there, nodding with affable respectability out of her corner, and Sir Terrelavac, in his fifth heresy, was sitting beside her with his arm round her waist. As a general rule, ladies were not welcome in the Lobster, but certain elderly ladies of proved character and well-seasoned heads for liquor were gladly admitted. The men did not use their very worst swear words when they were there, or if they did, they always bowed gravely and apologized afterwards, and this gave them a feeling of self-satisfaction which was dear to them. Besides, they were aware that Mother Morland knew far worse swear words than they did. Aye, said Pudsey. 'Tis smudged mead, your honour, and a braw brew she be. Will your honours pray be seated? Thanks very much, said Sir Grummore, as room was made for them. Thanks very much, my dear fellow. Pour all these dear people out another pint of it, won't you? The smiling faces smiled much more broadly at this. Wassail, they remarked, beaming. Och, aye, here's to ye. Hoots, toots. The man's a man of that, and landlord Pudsey threaded his way between them, slopping mead into foaming jugs, while they continued to make such respectful observations as, Hail to Sir Grummore, God be good to him, or just a wee Dutch and Doris with a bonny night, or it's a braw bricked moonlit night, and so forth. What about a song? Inquired Sir Grummore. We ought to have a song to celebrate the bowl. Come, Pudsey, cried everyone. Nay, nay, said Pudsey. Let Master Bob attune his merry note. At this, a very red-faced young fisherman began twisting his cap round and round in his hands and making a sort of scratching on the floor with his feet, as if he were a dog which had just done its duty and wanted to cover it up. Barbor, Barbor, cried all the people. Now, Barbor, said Sir Grummore encouragingly. Nay, nay, said Barbor. Let Sir Terrelavac spare my bashful blushes. Ah, Barbor, they exclaimed. Go to it, Barbor, Barbor, Firiver. Hold up, Barbor, and fling out thy music. Nay, said Barbor. Let Sir Terrelavac. And immediately he rose to his feet, throwing his cap upon the ground, advancing his left foot and placing the other one behind it at right angles. By throwing down his cap, he was claiming the attention of the house. It was a recognized gambit. Order, order, cried Pudsey. Order, cried all the people. Barbour remained motionless as if suddenly paralyzed by an act of God. Everybody sat dumb, fearing that their nightingale had lost his nerve or been rendered powerless by responsibility. This was not the case, however. He was only doing his prelude, calculated to terrify and to immobilize the audience, an object in which it succeeded perfectly. After a moment's horrible suspense, Barbour suddenly leaped into motion. He rapidly advanced his right knee to the fullest extent as if performing a lunge in fencing, then clapped his right hand, palm downward, to his forehead. Under his hand, he glared at Mother Morland, who drew back in terror and immediately burst into song. Speed, bonny boat, shouted Barbour in deafening accents, or at any rate, it was some ancient song of the same nature, and he scowled upon the agitated woman. Like a bird on the wing, over the sea to sky. Mother Morland relaxed. It was too soon, however. Carry the lad, yelled Barbour, suddenly reversing his position at a single thunderclap and switching about so that his left knee was advanced, and he was frowning upon King Pellinore under his left hand. That was born to be king over the sea to sky. King Pellinore shrank back, but Barbour continued to scan him wildly. By holding up the hand and looking under it, he meant that he was searching the horizon for the island of Skye, but King Pellinore did not know this. Tum-tiddy-tum, sang Sir Grummore, who was not in the direct line of vision. Something the something, why? Order! Order! Cried Barbour, relaxing his position and fixing Sir Grummore with a reproachful eye. Guide them on order! Barbour, however, was out of joint. He could have finished the song if they had left him alone, but now his limbs were in the wrong attitude for it, and he could not go on. A kinnemore, he said mournfully, and taking up his cap from the floor, sat down in dejection. A powerful song, said Mother Morland, shaking her head. The house politely applauded, but after that there was an awkward silence. Everybody felt deeply for Barbour, who had been disjointed in his music, and they thought that Sir Grummore ought not to have hummed. Sir Grummore felt this too. Come, landlord, he said, making amend honourable. Fill up the glasses again, and my friend Sir Palomides will follow in the footsteps of Master Barbour. No, no, cried Sir Palomides. Indeed, sir, no, indeed. Allow yours truly to pay for the next round and sing the song yourself, beg pardon. Demi, then I will. Mother Morland patted him on the back. Ah, the brave wight, she said. I shall try singing one of my old school songs. We shall all feel much indebted to our honoured guest. This song, said Sir Grummore, is about tilting. It's a sporting song, you know. We used to sing it at my old school. First, said Pudsey, there shall be a fresh round on the house in honour of a melodious night. The audience clapped warmly and gave vent to many expressions of satisfaction, while drinking Sir Palomides' pint as fast as they could. Master Pudsey had offered his round at this stage, with beautiful judgment, for many of them would not be able to clear their mugs in time to have it. This song, said Sir Grummore tenaciously, is about tilting. It's a tilting song. Good old Sir Grummore, remarked King Pellinore, speaking for the first time. Said Sir Grummore, now I shall begin. Give the gentleman order, order. My mug's half empty, said Mother Morland aside. I thought there was to be another round. Pray silence for Sir Grummore. Order. Sir Grummore stood up, and looking modestly down his red nose, sang his tilting song in a hoarse recitative on one note. This was his song. A tilting we will go, a tilting we will go, a tilting we will go, a tilting we will go. For something, and a tilting we will go. There were several verses of it, all the same, and at the conclusion, Sir Grummore sat down amid a thunder of applause. A noble chant, said everybody. Hoots, toots, and aves, a mickle night. Such melodies go far to warm the cockles of the heart. Another pint for everybody, said Sir Grumore, charmed by his reception. It wasn't a bad song, was it? I couldn't remember all the words, but those were the ones I remembered. It was a tilting song, you see. Long may Sir Grumore tilt! Hurrah! 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 King Pellinore, who had now drank 4 pints of strong mead, and had another one before him, stood up suddenly. I say, said he, I say, do you know, excuse me, beg pardon, I say, I think I want to sing. I think I want to sing a song, what? Do you know, do you mind, do you see? You know what I mean? Just a song at twilight, don't you know what? I think I want to do it. You sing if you want to sing, cried his companions. You just sing like anything, old boy, and the devil take the hindermost. Ladies and gentlemen, or ladies and gentiles, said the king, it is a song of love. Long live love, a cup of kindness for King Pellinore. Love, Nathan, but love. With my crummoch on my stomach and my something in the Isles, Orkney forever, up the Isles. Silence for King Pellinore, order, order. It's a love song, said the king. Now then, this is what it is, just you listen. This is the love song which I mean to sing. What? And without waiting for further encouragement, the amorous fellow burst into the following ditty. Drink to me only with thine eyes, and I will drink with mine. Or leave a drink but in the cup, and I will drink with mine. A drink, a drink, a drink, a drink, and I will drink with mine. And something, something sparkling eyes twinkling ever and anon. What? No, I'm not singing 2 songs, I'm singing one, and I will drink with mine. It wrings your heart, said Mother Moreland. Ah, my. Think of the pure mum drinking all the time there. It's a weary world, it is. Why wouldn't he? Now, Palomides, they said. Now, old boy, you'll have to sing a song of some sort, just to be polite. Oh, dear sirs, but yours truly is by no means a bard. Bard or no bard, they cried. Up, Palomides, 3 cheers for the Saracen. You're a better man than I am, Palomides. Sir Palomides, however, absolutely refused. He said he only knew some songs in Hindustani or something, and had forgotten those. However, he stood up demurely in the firelight, with his hands folded on his stomach, and said he was prepared to recite a poem of his own composition. This was the poem. Hoots, toots, hoots, toots. Will ye no come back again? Hoots, toots, hoots, toots. There's no discharge in the war. After he had recited it, the Paynim explained bashfully that he thought he must have got it muddled up, but it was a Scottish imperialistic marching song which he had been composing last week. All declared it to be a song of a very high order, and Sir Terellavec said, More power to your arm. This brought the saint into the limelight, and he had to let go of Mother Moreland. It's a pretty poem, Palomides. When did you invent it? This same poem was invented when we were practicing you-know-what. It's a pretty poem, I must say. Yours truly is honoured by appreciation. Only it's a bit monotonous, added Sir Grumore. Now then, Mother Moreland, what about you, old songster? And let's have another pint all round. At this point, the dejected Barbour sprang to his feet, throwing his cap once more upon the stone flags as a gauge. Speed, bonny boat, shouted Barbour, and immediately sat down again, buried his face in a pint of mead, then fell over backwards. Good old Barbour, pray silence for Mother Moreland. Order, order, birds on the wing. Drink to me only, tilted we will go, hoots, toots. Was hail, was hail, was hail. No, then, ye bastards, said Mother Moreland. No, then, hark to the mavis o' the north. And Mother Moreland, waving her pint pot gaily in all directions, sang an old-fashioned song of complicated nature. This was more or less how it went. As I were walking at 3:15, I saw a merry mermaid in a sycamore tree. And what did this mermaid start singing to me? But hey down, 14 hens, 3 pigs in a pineapple, green grow the rabbit's hole, dearie, dearie. A few lily-white boys, some goose-feather beds, wally-wally ding-dong, 8 cows, various hawks, bleached bones, etc., 2 corbies, Edward, up the rebel, Sir Grummore, Sir Palomides, King Pellinore, Master Barber, and Landlord Tom Pudsey, and all, old Landlord Tom Pudsey, and all. This ancient song was greeted with such a banging of pots, clapping of worn hands, and shouting of salt lungs, in chorus and drinking of merry healths, as never was seen. Go, Morlin, cried King Pellinore, waving one of his boots, which had come off somehow. Then he slid gently under the table. They had overdone it. Not only had they overdone it with King Pellinore, they had overdone it with themselves. Come on, Pellinore, they said, leading each other home. Go, Pellinore. You stick to us and we'll stick to you. Look out for the banshees. Hold up, King Pellinore. Go, Grummle. Clever old Palomides. Won't go home till morning. Must go home till morning. Hail, smiling morn. At the castle, some men had been digging a drain. It was next to the main path, and the night was very dark. Now then, said Sir Grummore, there's a hole somewhere here. Go, ho. I know exactly where it is. Go, Grum. You trust old Grum? We trust old Grum. He knows exactly where it is, see? Trust old Grum to know exactly where it is. Everybody trusts old Grum. Just lean on me, old boy. Hold hands. That's right. All hold hands. No danger whatever. No danger. Now we all go this way. King Pellinore sank into the hole without protest. You could hardly say vanished, because he was invisible in the darkness already. He went down confidently with surprisingly little noise. The drain was about 5 feet deep. Where's Pellinore? Asked Sir Grummore. Here, old boy, replied the king from the level of their feet. He sounded bewildered, though still confident. Gone downstairs, said Sir Palomides. They looked about them in a puzzled way, but could see nothing in the dark. Where are you, Pellinore? Here. We'll take the high road, and you take the low road. Never meet again, said the king sleepily. Bonny, bonny banks. Goodbye, then, said the king. Goodbye. Dear old Pellinore, goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. And Sir Grummore and Sir Palomides wandered sadly off toward the castle, saying what a splendid fellow old Pellinore had been before he left them, and how they would always miss him in the years to come. When they got to Sir Palomides' room, they remembered their purpose with the questing beast and forgot about the king's sudden departure. Dress up now, said Sir Grummore. Oh, dress up, agreed Sir Palomides. They got into the skin, back to back, with Sir Grummore facing the tail and Sir Palomides facing the head. Gallop, said Sir Grummore. They tried hard to gallop. There's a chap holding me back, said Sir Grummore. Said Sir Palomides. So there is me. No good, no good. Better to bed, then. Better go bed. So they climbed into bed with some difficulty, still back to back, and in a minute they were both fast asleep with their questing beast about them. And that's the end of chapter 22.